Welcome back to the podcast. I have a question for you guys. What was your favorite show when you were a kid? Mom, I don't think they had TVs when you were a kid, so you can
No,
go.
I know, Mom.
I Dream of Jeannie.
I was going to say I Dream of Jeannie.
And one more.
Brady Bunch.
I
love Lucy.
What was that channel that had all the old...
No.
I Love Lucy.
That wasn't one of my
That's older
favorites.
than
Wait, can I say
Mom.
how I know that? Because Mom would tell me, Mom was my best friend when I was a kid. And so she would tell me her favorite shows growing up were Brady Bunch and I Dream of Jeannie. So I watched both of them.
Aren't they good?
As a kid.
They were so
They were
good.
so good, yeah. From what I remember.
Oh, that was TV Land. You would always put TV Land on, so I saw all the episodes of I Dream of Jeannie.
I forgot about TV Land.
That was actually a really
Also,
entertaining
Bewitched.
show.
Yeah,
Bewitched
they were
was
really
another
good.
one. Gomer
I tried
Pyle was
watching
another
Bewitched.
one. Get Smart was another one. I literally would sit
Little
in front
House
of the
on the
TV.
Prairie.
Little House on the Prairie. I would sit, Love Boat. I would sit and watch TV, my sister and I, like all day.
Those old shows had like nothing inappropriate in it whatsoever.
I know.
They were so clean. Like,
Actually,
and entertaining.
I Dream of Jeannie, she's wearing like a
Yeah,
belly
she's
dancer outfit.
Pretty sexy.
Oh, true.
And she looked stunning.
yeah, but they never really acknowledged it, did they?
No,
What do
but
you mean?
she was
And
supposed
she had
to.
a lot
Like,
of
they
cleavage.
Do you
never
know what that
acknowledged
show is
the
about?
sexuality.
Where she
She
lives
was
in
the
like a
guy's
bottle.
genie.
And she's
Oh, she was kind of like his like.
No, he didn't
servant.
like her like that, but she liked him like that.
eventually he did.
Oh,
He was her master, and he would say,
and then he
and
would
she
get
would
annoyed
say,
with
"Master."
it.
Yeah, she would call him
Yeah.
master, and he wouldn't want that.
Well, only because she would do magic on him and like put him in situations that he like couldn't.
Yeah, she'd
like
go-
he was an astronaut. Yeah. So sometimes she would blink him into like, if she got mad at him, she'd blink him like to like a different place that he's not supposed to be.
It kind of is.
Like
How
what?
do you think a show like that would do nowadays if they like remade it?
I think it would do great.
no, I don't think people would like it.
I think I would watch it.
I think the
They'd
culture's
have to do
changed
it.
a lot.
They'd have to do it a certain way. Like she wouldn't call him master.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what's changed.
But that's a genie. Genies do.
That's
do that.
that's a part of the story, and it makes sense for the story. But
Yeah. I mean,
nowadays, it's just like
Isn't that crazy how they
Aladdin
hate?
and Jasmine TV show at one point.
Yeah, but Aladdin and Jasmine's different because they made the movie, but that was where Will Smith was the genie. But it's so different because it's not a girl.
I just don't think they need to remake things.
No,
that
now
have already
they make
been done.
shows like-
They keep remaking everything.
I know. Now they make
Everything.
shows like Naked and Afraid of Love. We just are watching
Oh
that.
God,
They're literally naked on an island.
we talked about this
meeting
last-
other people. No, this is Afraid of
No,
Love.
there's Naked and Afraid, and then I guess now.
Oh wait, so now they're naked afraid. They're
naked-
like, it's too boring, guys. Let's add Love
Naked
Island
and
into
Afraid
it.
of Love. I swear to God, I think they're feeding them on the side because they act like they're too happy. They're too happy. They're probably like, all right, come on, the cameras go down. Let's eat some pizza or like some of those military meals that you just heat
When I
up.
was watching the last podcast, when Mom said, talking about how on Facebook people are calling her a man, and she said
Yeah.
he has great. I started laughing
I still am getting
because
it.
I was also thinking like that could have been like a typo or something, or like.
Or how some people like from another country say he and they mean
I
she.
see a lot of people like
but,
accidentally misgendering people
No,
because
the one
of like
that
a language
said
barrier.
that he should draw or paint a mustache on was not a mistake. That was definitely like, and then I read another one that said, I think he's a trans.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I keep getting them, and they're in different languages, and I have to translate.
It's usually like people from other countries.
Mm-hmm. Mostly, maybe they just
Maybe
don't
it's
see.
because you're like muscular.
I think so because somebody said something about working out.
You do not have a manly face at all.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, you
what the
don't. I'm confused.
really
I have
really
no
don't.
idea, but it's annoying. So
Yeah.
stop.
I don't think they're gonna be
I think the
watching.
people
this.
who watch your videos on Facebook are probably not listening to this podcast.
I don't even know how these people like they probably like get online. Like I don't even know how often they would get online. Like they seem like they don't see anything, and then they get on like, you know what I'm saying? Like they can't. I don't understand how they're doing that. It's like they
think
get
they're
on
just-
really quick, and then they see something and they say something terrible, and then they.
I think they're just bored.
All right, Brandon, what was your favorite show?
I would probably say Teletubbies' favorite character.
Wait, how long
favorite
ago?
character, the vacuum.
No, it wasn't. It was Tinky Winky.
I don't even know which one Tinky Winky is.
Purple one, I think.
How do you
course
know that,
Cory
Cory?
knows it.
Cory has posters.
Cory
in his
still watches
bedroom.
it.
Wait, you're talking about
Which
when
one
you
was
were
the
like
red one? It was
5.
Poe?
No,
You liked Poe, the red one.
What,
green
how long
one.
did you
I
watch
like,
that
I like
till?
the green. Do you see
I
my
never
green
liked
light?
it. I never liked
Oh, and what was
These
the
are like
green's name then?
representations
There
of
wasn't a
Teletubbies.
green one.
No, he liked Barney.
There was a green one. The green one was like the
Dipsy.
biggest.
Dipsy.
Wait, I don't understand
the green,
something.
The green was the biggest and the dumbest. That's why.
Teletubbies.
Brandon,
Okay,
how
was the
long
dumbest?
did you watch that for?
How long?
This is like you were like
I
5.
binge watch every season of the Teletubbies for sure.
Sing the song.
Tinky Winky,
Dipsy, la la po. Teletubbies.
Oh,
Say hello.
I don't even know that. So clearly I wasn't around for this
Dude,
era.
I watched that
Something's
more
just
than
so
any
glued in
other
your
show in my
brain.
entire life.
yeah,
crazy
when
that
you were like 3 or 4 or 5.
You guys like existed before I existed, and you didn't even like I wasn't even a thing.
Oh, I knew you were coming. I had visions. I had visions of this very moment when I was watching Teletubbies one day. I can remember.
Okay, what was your favorite?
What was your favorite?
Like at 12?
As like a
At 12?
yeah.
What did we watch? Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
Pokemon.
We watch a lot of Nickelodeon and Disney Channel.
We watched so many shows. There was nothing else to do. That's all
I
we
vividly
did.
remember watching the first episode of Victorious, all of us together, and Brandon not shutting
I know
up.
what Brandon's
you know what
favorite
we
show
all
is.
watched together?
Sorry, I know.
What? Because I barely
Clarissa
know.
explains it all.
What is it?
What?
Clarissa explains it all.
This explains it all.
Not Chris. Clarissa.
I
You were in
never-
love with
Nobody
her.
knows what that is.
I've never heard of this
Oh
show.
my God, you loved that girl.
I don't know what you're talking
I have
about.
no idea what that is either.
Okay, look
As
it up.
I was saying,
You need to show me what that is because I have no idea what
when
you're
we
saying.
were watching Victorious, all I remember is you constantly saying how hot Ariana Grande was.
Oh, I had a huge crush on her.
Well,
Yeah, when I was a kid.
sure
I did
everybody
too.
did.
Wait, was she in Zoe 101? We
No.
watched Zoe 101
Zoe
together
101 was
all the
so
time.
good.
Victoria Justice was.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ariana Grande came in and then she like blew up out of the whole thing.
Yeah, because she's amazing. She still is.
That was a good show. What about you guys?
I think I liked Baby Looney Tunes.
I don't even remember. When did you watch
I
it?
have a
When you were
specific
little?
memory of like, yeah.
I remember she liked Baby Looney Tunes and
don't know
Baby
why.
Rugrats.
Oh, Rugrats was. I watched Rugrats
oh, yeah,
too.
definitely.
It's so funny to watch these shows nowadays because you didn't realize how bad like not the graphics, but the animation was. And then you watch it now and you're like, holy shit, I watched that. And then not only did you watch it on those bubbly TVs
That's why
that were
people
like super low
say
resolution.
people long for the way they felt in their childhood because it's a certain like mindset that you never have again once you get older and you get exposed to more things and you realize what the world is actually about and how people are. But when you're a kid, you don't know any of that. So your world is only so big and your mind is only so big.
That's why they say nostalgia creates comfort. So when you're really stressed out, you end up doing things that you did when you were younger
Yeah.
because it makes you feel like safe.
I do that all the time.
Have any of you guys seen the new Inside Out?
No, I
No.
keep telling her I want to watch it and she's like, I don't want to watch a kids movie.
It's not like a big part of it, but there's one emotion that like makes a cameo called nostalgia. And I got into like an argument with Nick, but like at what age do you get nostalgia, do you think?
At what age?
At what age?
Say like,
I think it comes
10.
into play once you experience real stressors
yeah,
in life.
yeah. That's a good point.
And it's different for each person. So
Yep.
age, not sure.
I would say
but
10.
when you enter real life.
I'd say around 10.
It depends on the life. It depends on the person.
I remember being like 10 years old and wanting to be younger. And I also remember being like maybe 6 and being like, I don't want to get older because everyone says I'm so cute. I don't want to not be cute anymore.
I feel like nostalgia doesn't come until you're like an adult.
No, I don't know.
What did you say,
I don't
Cory?
agree with that.
In the movie, they made it like a point that the girl doesn't have nostalgia yet. They're like, not yet, not yet. So I'm thinking like 16.
Oh. Wait, so
Oh,
did
I
you like
don't know.
I
Inside
think
Out too?
16's fair.
Yeah, but when you're like 16, you're
Keep
not
telling
like,
her I want to watch it and she won't.
oh, I wish I was like a kid again. Like I wish I was like, you don't wish that. You want to get older.
yeah.
Then when
I
you get
remember-
older, you
I
wish you were a
remember
kid again.
My cousin was born and I was 10, and I remember it was the first cousin and we were all really close, and I was looking at him thinking he's getting all this attention, and I specifically
What,
remember
little?
thinking
He was younger than you?
yeah, he was just born. I was a 10-year-old.
Huh?
Yeah. Son was born, and then I remember looking at him going, damn, he's cute, but I wish I was a baby again. Seriously, I was like acting like I had a little blanket for like a really long time. Still have it. And I remember just like holding the blanket and laying there with him, and like, I don't know, I could feel like I was like wanting to be a baby. It was so weird.
That's the thing that some adults do. They get in diapers and they pretend to be babies.
I didn't get in diapers.
Well, yeah, she was also 10.
I was 10.
That has
and
to be like an attention love thing. And when you're like a 10-year-old, you don't know any different.
It was me and then my sister, and we were it for a long time. And then the cousins started
You're like,
coming.
I want to be that cute little thing that gets all the attention from
Yeah, I
everyone. When
wanted
the
all the
baby doesn't
attention.
Did
even
you
know
guys
it's
ever
getting
feel
fucking attention
jealous
from random people.
of the attention I got being the youngest?
I'm sure I did when I was like 5, but I think I eventually got over it and I just didn't crave attention from anyone because of it. Like, I feel like I'm still that way. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, that's why I left you. You know, I felt like you were really strong.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
Because you guys didn't, you gave Kennedy all the attention.
But you didn't, yeah, but she
Kennedy
seemed
wanted
to want
it.
it. Yeah.
So I never thought about it.
When I was
but
younger, I did want it.
I never thought about it really, but it probably was a factor for me because I had Claudia as a younger sister and she was like a really cute kid. And then another younger sister on top of that.
What, you say I was an ugly kid?
A little alien one.
You were all very cute.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I know I was not as cute as Claudia.
You had a transformation since childhood in a good way.
I went my whole life with having a beautiful, popular older sister. Of course, that's impacted me. I've accepted it. And now in adulthood, we're best friends. And I love her so much. So I really don't care. But as a kid, boys would say to me all the time, your sister's so hot. Like, I have so many memories of like boys saying like that to me. But like at the same time, it never made me jealous of you. It made me like want to be friends with you.
Well, maybe that fueled a lot of your success that you have now.
It probably did.
It probably
did because everything made me be on my own more and spend time with myself. And I feel like if I didn't spend all that time with myself, I never would have started my YouTube channel because that was like all I wanted to do. I didn't want to go out and hang out with people. I still am that way. I really don't enjoy like going out and meeting new people. Like I rarely do. Like I like being with the people I know, I trust, I like, and then I like being by myself and doing things by myself.
Yeah. You were still a cute kid, by the way. Just
I know I was a cute kid. In a different way. But Claudia was like a model kid.
It was like when you see like a little like Dobby. You're like, oh, he's so cute because he's like a little thing.
I agree.
What, Kennedy?
I did not have a Dobby baby. No.
A Dobby baby.
No.
No, I got cute around like age
she was
3.
very cute, but I feel like it was like just different. Like me and her looked very different as kids.
Very cute.
Very different.
It was just it was a different cuteness. Claudia looked like a little baby doll because your head was the same size as it is now.
Claudia's head was bigger than anything.
I was like rat cute.
Rat cute?
No, you were not.
I was rat cute. Yes, I was.
No,
I can admit it.
No, you were not.
And my face has gone through a lot of changes. Even in the last few years. Like Claudia said this the other day, she was looking at fan edits and she was like, your face used to be so much rounder. And I was like, I know. I look at old videos and I'm like, my face just looks so different to me. Like even from like 4 or 5 years ago. Like,
well, that's what happens.
I feel like my face shape is just so different.
It's so interesting. Like if somebody showed me a baby picture of Claudia and then her now, I'd be like, that's the same person. But if they showed me you, I would be like, I'm not sure. If they showed me
I feel
you,
like I look exactly
I would definitely
the same.
be like, no.
Yeah.
And then even dad, like when I see pictures of dad,
but that's the thing,
not the same human.
Me and mom looked exactly the same as kids.
Yeah, that's why you were saying that. I was not a cute rat. I was a cute kid.
Me and Brandon literally look the same as person as we did when we were a little kid.
I don't know what happened with me, but I got a burst of some different DNA.
Remember my fat days when I was like 6 months old?
Yeah,
you must have been feeding me a lot of something.
I don't think I look anything like dad. Do you guys think I look anything like dad?
No.
I don't see any.
She looks more like me. My side.
I don't know. Maybe like a little, but not a lot.
I mean,
I see the Walshes
we got
in you
genetically
in the
tested.
eyes.
Remember we did that for a video, and Claudia and I were like near identical, and then very close to dad, and then you were very close to mom and had like a little bit of
crazy.
You can't tell me this isn't exactly what we look like now.
It literally is. Brandon, you were probably the cutest little boy I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we look like.
Look how big Claude's head is compared to your
I have a lot of hair.
The head is the same size as the body. It's insane.
Her head was big.
That's crazy.
I remember looking at her thinking like, wow.
Show the. See,
I sent it to the
body.
chat. He can insert it on the screen.
It was like head and then like little arms and legs and body.
So cute.
I was like, she'll grow into it.
I just had so much hair. I was like 3 and had
so much hair,
long full head of hair.
And
what's the earliest
that was
back,
me. I had a lot of hair.
What's the earliest back you remember? Because like if I didn't have photos of things, I like would not.
Oh, then
I don't remember anything of mom and dad being together. I don't remember anything of that house.
Wow.
You don't remember them being together?
That's
that
weird.
I do.
I told mom yesterday, I was
That's
like,
weird.
we were at wedding dress shopping for Claudia, which she found her dress and it's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
But mom was talking to me about her wedding day and her marriage and everything, which the fact that they were married for 12 years, which is a long time, but my whole life, I only knew them as divorced. Like that was my normal. Like I couldn't even imagine my parents together, like my parents liking each other.
We were married 12 and together for 15. So we were together 3 years before we got married.
Yeah,
That's
which
a
is
long time.
insane. Oh, like still, I'm still so cute.
You are cute.
Yeah, so you're cute. It's just different.
No, I see it. Like, I
You're
see
like a
that how
little
different
chunky
she is
baby.
compared to you guys as kids.
Yeah.
But
I had this like slim.
look at you're drowning in hair.
It's so much hair.
I had a lot of hair, but yours was really got very thick.
Brandon, would you ever dye your hair again?
Probably not. Well, when I looked, so I no one likes this, but I really liked when it was like grayish white.
I liked
looked
it.
good.
It looked
I liked
like The
all of
Witcher.
them.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was just so fried looking.
It was fried.
After a certain
You
point.
liked green?
Green.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
did.
why.
It looked cool.
The green was pretty
I
crazy.
just didn't really.
No, I like the gray.
I like the
I thought it
silvery
looked
gray.
cool.
Listen, I think the gray and like the whitish color could have looked cool if your hair was longer, but like I feel like because you kept cutting it shorter and then like you
I'm
looked like
always-
an old grandpa.
Yeah.
I'm always the type of person where if you want to dye your hair, I think you should absolutely do it and not even think twice about it because hair literally grows back. So who cares?
Well, I think it'd
Yeah.
be sick if like my hair starts graying, which I don't think will happen for a while. Just
Dad's
'cause-
is barely graying.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not gonna gray till you're old.
but it would be cool if it did, but then it was still the same fullness. Because that looks so sick on like older guys
Yeah.
when they
Do
have
you
gray
wanna
hair,
look-
but it's still thick and doesn't look
Yeah,
like it's
well,
falling
You're gonna
out.
look like a Just for Men ad.
Yeah, those guys look awesome.
Why do you want to look so like also
yeah,
much
why do you
older?
look older?
I don't know. I just like the gray silvery
Do you
look.
think you're like 85?
Without it being
know
like
what you
shiny.
could do?
He's
though?
The Witcher.
You could literally dye your hair.
not The Witcher.
You could probably
exactly.
dye
It looks
your
like a
hair
wig.
gray without even bleaching it and just coloring it. And it would be like a
Darker,
darker
though.
gray.
Yeah,
But I don't see why you would do that.
makes you look older and
Your natural hair color looks
If you like,
wiser.
gave yourself a little bit of a blow dry every day, your hair would look really good.
Brandon just clearly
I
doesn't look in
don't.
the
I
mirror.
don't. Blow dry's not good. It makes it puffy.
Well, you have to know how to
You
do
don't.
it.
Yeah, you're not using the right products, and you
You
don't
like look in the
know.
mirror every day before you like leave the house.
No,
Yeah, but quickly.
you're just like, this
Like-
will do.
I wake up, brush my teeth, get right to work, and then Kate will take like 30 minutes. Or
Do you
an
like
hour
do
in the morning.
skincare?
Yeah. Well, I use retinol, but like I need to go stronger now.
Have you been
'cause
sleeping at Kate?
it's not affecting me anymore.
See, that's what happens. That's good.
I
Yeah.
can't stand the peeling process.
It's-
often do you sleep
that's
there?
the process that makes you.
We kind of like switch off
Helps you.
every week. Like she'll probably come here tonight because she's off work.
You
But
like sleeping in her apartment?
yeah, I like it. It's like a good change up because I get stuck in the same like pattern of doing the same thing every day.
Yeah, me too.
Like I wake up, work, go to sleep. Wake up, work, go to the gym, go to sleep, and then keep repeating it. And then I'll do that over and over and over and over again. And then I start like literally, I kind of go a little insane. So
Yeah,
I need
that's
to break
literally
the
what that's
pattern.
exactly what I do, and I feel like that's also what was happening to me in New York. So I was doing the same exact thing every single day, and that's why being here is really refreshing because it's like a different. Like it feels to me similar to what we do with Florida. We'd go there for a couple weeks and then come home, and it would be like a nice change because no matter what, you get used to like anything, and we're also like routine people. All of us, I feel like.
You start like losing perspective of yourself and
Yeah.
the world and different things because you just get stuck in the same pattern for so long.
Jesse told me I'm one of his best friends.
I can
That's
probably,
good.
I think I
needs
can
him.
list out.
Both of my siblings became his best friends.
Oh, that's so cute.
She cooks for
In,
them all
in
the
different
time.
ways, which is interesting. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Like Jesse and I will go to the gym together and talk about like business stuff.
But you know what's funny? If you guys talked about like normal things, like how him and Kennedy do, you guys all have like a very similar like
Me and him have such deep conversations.
because all they talk about is work stuff. But like they like the thing is like Brandon and Kennedy always have had like this certain like kind of conversation, I guess, in common, like where they like the same type of things. And Jesse's the same way. Like I'm the one that doesn't fit into all of that.
Is it like philosophical type?
Like stuff like
Some
that
discussions.
or like any like topic that you can think of, but it's just like I don't know.
I just like talking about like deep thoughts or deep things, or like exploring certain trains of thoughts with people that I actually think about too. And that's why me and you like talking so much, because I feel like we like bounce off of each other and ask each other questions, and it feels like a actual like conversation with substance.
Well, it's interesting because it creates like a flow where you're not even thinking about what you're saying necessarily. It's
exactly.
Just like,
That's
it's
what
just
I
like
like.
a stream of
Yeah.
consciousness.
That's what I like, when you can have a conversation with someone and not be thinking about what you're saying or like how they're perceiving you. And that's why I don't like meeting new people. It's because I'm like, I just know they're like assessing me in their head and they're
Right, you don't
whatever,
know like what their beliefs are, what they
exactly
would
that
maybe
too.
get offended by.
I don't know if I can trust you. I really don't have a hard time trusting people, especially new people. That's why, like, when you have a family that you're actually close with and you actually enjoy spending time with, like, it becomes even harder to meet new people because nothing will compare to that.
Yeah. And I feel like also there's so many people nowadays who just have, like, you can never know if someone you meet might have something like very f***ed up about them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to put that nicely, but like, you might on the surface talk to someone and be like, oh, they seem really nice, but like, you don't know if they're like hiding something really fucked up about themselves, or like,
That's my fear.
or like have something more like deeply, like some deep issue that can end up affecting you too by being in their life.
That's honestly a big fear I have with meeting men, because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, so have you ever like done anything horrible to a woman? Because like, no matter what, if a man's done something horrible to a woman, I do not want to be friends with you. I do not want to talk to you. I don't want you in my life at all. Like, that's just a line that I have that I'm not willing to cross. And like, obviously you're not going to know that right away within meeting someone. So it's like really, really hard for me to trust a man, which is why I don't. But then I do have male friends, and like,
well, the scary part is if somebody's having a lot of problems, they can pull you into their without
That too.
you even noticing.
yeah.
Like a good analogy is if you're a lifeguard and you're trying to save somebody, you have to calm them down first before you save them. Because if they're flailing all over the place, they'll pull you into the water
Yeah.
also. So
Yeah.
you can apply that same analogy to
Yep.
like people in general.
Does it make you question your judgment if you like get along with someone and then learn that they did something bad in the past?
It's never really happened to me. I have
feel like-
such good intuition.
I feel like it's more like the thought of, is this too good to be true?
Well, the thing
Or
is,
like,
with romantic things, it's harder because I really like when the day that happens for me, it's gonna be like, I feel like I'll just know in my gut. Like, I've always had a gut feeling about people, and I feel like even when I have crushes, it's like in my head I still know like this isn't the one for me. I'm just like, this is a stupid little crush, and it's gonna with me for a second, but I'll get over it. And that's how it's always been. So I'm like, in my head, I know what's meant for me will find me. And then right now, who I want to be right now is someone who takes care of herself and lives for me, and not for the possibility of meeting someone or falling in love or whatever. It's like, I just want to take care of myself and my family. That's all I really care about right now.
I think it's fine if somebody's done something bad in the past. I don't think it's a reflection
It depends on what
who
it
they
is.
are or who they will become. Well, it depends on if they like murdered an entire family, then maybe
that's-
there's some deep
But
embedded
like, if someone was
trauma
like,
there.
yeah, I was in prison for this, but like you've changed. That's the thing too. People can prove to you that they've changed. It's just a gut feeling you get when you meet someone. Like, I've always my entire life gone with my gut, and it's always led me to the right way. So then I just keep listening to it, and it keeps getting better and better. Not enough people listen to their intuition, or they second guess themselves and they tell themselves they're crazy or they're wrong. But it's like when I read the Book of Fear, is that what it was called? The Book of Fear, that this guy wrote about like women should trust their intuition, especially in scenarios where they feel unsafe. And it really talks about intuition and how like you should just trust your intuition more and not second guess yourself no matter what. Because the worst case scenario is you look stupid. Oh, well, what's the other option? You end up getting killed, or someone ends up hurting you, or you're in a situation that you're uncomfortable and you don't know what to do. Like,
I mean, that could be in anything, just like anything at all, like your intuition. There's been so many times where I was like, oh, I should have listened to myself. Like, you almost knew it, and then you do it anyway.
Like picking an answer on a test and then changing it. And
Right,
then the first one
exactly.
ends up being right. It's like,
they
be
always
from
say
simple
don't
to
change your
complex.
answer.
always go with your gut.
And I always got the ones wrong that I changed.
Exactly.
Mom, what was your strategy? A, B, A, B, A, B.
No
Do you
joke.
remember-
I would do that on like.
Did you
what
guys
was it,
get the strip
SATs?
of like things where it said
Scantron.
A, B, C, D?
Yeah.
They had that when you were a kid?
The strips,
The
yeah.
Scantrons?
Yeah,
I
they always
remember
had
looking
them.
at that and thinking, I'm not reading all this crap. And I literally would make a design
on you know what it was?
with it.
The MSA test. I would get so f***ing bored of sitting
Fail it,
there.
of course.
seriously very minimal patience when it comes to sitting there and taking a test.
Same.
Unless it was like nursing school and it was like 40 questions and each one I was like really hardcore thinking about it and I wanted to get them right. But like in middle school, elementary school, I remember we would take this MSA test, and I remember once I was like, I'm just gonna go with like a little pattern on here because
That's
I
what I
just
did,
do not
patterns.
feel like
Yeah.
I just didn't care. I was like, this
Did you pass?
That was the thing too.
I don't know.
I was the same way where I knew I was smart if I applied myself, and when I did, I would do good, but I just didn't care about school at all. Like in high school, first of all, I was barely there because I was sick all the time. But also when I was there, I was just like, we would take tests and I'd be like, this is so stupid. Like, I know this doesn't matter. I knew in my head it didn't matter. And I was just like, I would also read the questions. Like I took AP European history for some reason. I don't know. I don't even care about history, but the question, you know, like the questions you'd have to write an essay for, I would read them and be like, I have no idea what the this means. And I just bullshit some
Oh my
answer.
God, yeah, I would do that and write the dumbest stuff.
I'd look at the previous questions and take information from the questions on the test and put it in my response.
The difference is you passed. I
Barely.
I never
Well,
passed.
okay, I
Barely.
did terrible in high school and I knew I was doing terrible and I really didn't give a fuck. I didn't give one single because I was like, I know I'm not going to college. I don't care to go to a big university. Well, I meant like in terms of college, at least like applying to a college. And I also knew that there was community college if I wanted to go and do something. And I hated just being at school and I just hated like doing the work.
It too, as far as the
hated it
school
too.
work.
Boring as fuck. Everything that they gave us, there was nothing interesting, nothing that caught my attention and made me want to learn. It was like,
That's how I know you're an artist.
here's fucking paper, do this. Yeah, but you know what the funny thing is in nursing school?
Right.
I
It's 'cause you
thoroughly
wanted to do.
enjoyed learning all of that stuff.
Because
Like,
you
I
wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I loved learning about like things that I could know to help people, or like basically it gives you like a higher knowledge of everyone else. Like, you know, these things about the human body
That
or-
actually matter.
Yeah,
That's
that-
the thing. They teach you
you
so
can
much.
apply it in your everyday life. Like in school, I'm like, I don't give a how
You
many
don't need to know
apples
math.
Charlie has.
I don't think
yeah.
they're teaching you things that don't matter. I think they're teaching things that don't align with your curiosity, especially when you're really young. Your curiosities are usually not whatever they're teaching you. Okay, here's a good example. Like, let's say you have a kid who's obsessed with like dinosaurs, right? And you want to teach them about like how the world works with money, like basic economics. They're not going to give a f- if you say, this is money. If you get this, you can get a chocolate. They're not going to care, because at that moment, all that kid cares about is dinosaurs. So you need to somehow give them an analogy that makes sense to them, that they can they can think that way, but not, but you're it's like converting it, translating it to a different language.
That's why I liked
translating it
homeschooling.
to the way the kid thinks.
That's why I was homeschooling. Because
Yeah, but
I
they
was
should,
like,
if they made the curriculum more like, okay, you have all these classes to pick from. You pick these extracurricular ones, or like these ones that don't, like, okay, you have to take the 5 basics and then you have 2 that
Right.
you can pick. And let's say they had options like anatomy or like microbiology, things that you can do when you're in college for like a certain thing, and you find that you like that, then it should be like the next grade you move up, you get to take more classes that are related to anatomy because that's what you liked.
right. Or change if you want to.
Yeah, or like switch a different direction, because then you're not taking these general classes, and then by the time you're out of school, you're like, oh, I know that I like this and I want this to
Even
be my
in
degree.
college, like when you go to college by choice, they still force you to take certain classes that you don't
I
care
did
about.
I didn't go to college
I had
because
to
I
take
wanted
a
to go
speech
do art.
class.
Well, the issue is it's not focusing on
Hated that
it's not
fucking
focusing
class.
on interest and curiosity. So like, let's say you're majoring in biology. Okay,
This is why the world is wrong.
Biology can apply to many different fields and curiosities. It's very vague. So some schools, what they do is they have like tracks. So you'll do like biology, but then you can like narrow it. Or I'll do computer science since I know it better. You can do computer science, but maybe there's a gaming track and like an AI track. But I think it needs to be fine tuned to each person. And then the course structure, the classes you're taking,
I
need
don't
to be built for that
understand
person.
why when I looked into it, I was going to take art. There was math
Art's
involved,
vague, but
there
what's
was
art?
math involved. Like in order to do an art major, I had to do math to get there, which is stupid.
Even you shake.
Why do I need that?
It's because it's like general knowledge, man.
That's why I didn't take it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't
I have
go
a
to
funny
college.
story. It's actually not funny, but I mean, it is now. But when I was in high school, I had this math teacher, and I think to a point he like did like me as a student, but I just think he liked me because he knew I had more potential than I like applied. You know who this is, but I'm obviously not going to say his name. But
Wait, I actually don't know who it is.
Mr. Do you remember him?
Baron? No, I never had him.
Oh, I feel like you did.
Maybe you're thinking of me.
Did you have him?
No. I don't know.
Oh,
You had
did?
him? Okay, so he was like a cool guy, but like he was just, I don't know, he had his moments. Like some days he would be like, whatever. Anyway, I had to take a test because I was late to school that day or something, and I had to go after school to take it, but he had like an after school program where he had to like go help the kids get on the buses and things like that. So he was like, I'm trusting you to like stay here and take the test. And I sat at his desk taking it, and I pulled up, there was like this website that you could go and put in math equations and it would give you the answer. So I was like doing that for each one because I didn't know. I knew nothing about this class. I don't even remember what class it was, algebra 2 or something hard that I like literally had zero interest in. And I just wanted to get a decent grade. So I'm using this website, and I leave my test there and leave whatever. And I guess I never exited out on his computer of the website. So I'm pretty sure he failed me on the test, and I was like, how did I fail? Like, how did I get to all, like, what happened? And he was like, you left the browser open, like you cheated, I saw.
Oh my God.
And like luckily he didn't report me or anything, like he just gave me a bad grade, I think, for it, or like whatever it was. And I was like,
That's great.
Okay, well, one time, this was in 11th grade, I think, and I had to retake this quiz for chemistry, I think. And a lot of kids had to retake this quiz because everybody did bad on it, which is a reflection on the teacher. And one of my friends in the class had gotten a picture of the Scantron on her desk, on the teacher's desk, with the answers, and was sharing it with everyone who wanted it. And I had the answers written on a little piece of paper next to my thigh on my chair, and I would just go like that. And I got a few wrong on purpose, and I got a B on that quiz, and it like bumped my grade up from a C to a B. And I was like, that is awesome, and I would do it again.
Okay, I have a better one. Somebody got the answers, and on the bottom of my tennis shoe, I wrote every single answer that I needed. So I crossed my leg and went like that, and was writing them all down. Like I got it all right.
I feel like that's less smart.
It's not less smart, because you know why? You had the paper right there. If the teacher walks by, they're going to see that.
It was a tiny piece of paper hidden under my thigh.
Okay, you're my teacher. You're walking by. I put my foot down.
You can't do that fast enough. I could literally cover
I definitely could.
Okay, put your foot there, and let's see who can cover their answers quicker. Exactly.
Yeah, but if I do this, she doesn't know that I have anything on my foot.
Wait, Mom, was it like a piece of paper you taped to it?
No, I drew. I wrote it.
You ruined your
sneakers.
sneakers.
I didn't ruin it. I would go outside and I'd go like this.
listen, I was way too scared to do like that because the teachers would sometimes walk around and be like looking. I remember one time we had this one teacher, and everyone hated her, and she was so crazy and evil, and people would mess with her on purpose. And so like this one kid, we were taking a test, and he had his calculator like this and was pretending, like looking at it on purpose because he wanted her to come by and think he was cheating. So she like walked around and act like she caught him, and then she was like, oh, and like he was just sitting there with his calculator. So then,
some teachers are so miserable. Like,
oh my God, there was this.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. How often do you think the teachers is having like a super bad day and just takes it out on all the kids?
oh my God, all fucking time.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
You also have to understand that, especially in high school, teaching like probably close to 60 or even like 80 kids a day, I'm sure there are going to be at least 10 that test you and push you.
But I think if you're going to be a teacher and commit your life and your career to like teaching young minds who are very fragile at all of those ages, then you have to have the patience to deal with that. Like that's your responsibility. You're the adult. You're teaching them, and yeah, kids can be assholes.
I think every school should have a therapist for the teachers.
Well, I think the guidance counselors for everyone.
Do you think there's too many kids in a single class? We had like 30.
Definitely.
One
our
teacher, that's a
classes
lot
were
to manage.
huge.
That's a lot.
Yeah, there's too
like
many.
30 plus.
I just think the entire school system is like messed up and could be entirely redone.
Honestly, that is why I homeschooled, because I hated the way school
you
was
have a good
ran.
point, because it's more one-on-one.
Yeah, I was like, this. I'm teaching my own kids.
The best part about going to school is getting to like socialize, but I also feel like it's hard because it's like there is that aspect of what can happen to my kid when I send them to school. Like you're sending them to be without you for, especially when they're young, like your 5-year-old, you're sending them to like kindergarten, pre-K, whatever, and they're spending a day without you when they've been with you basically like almost every day since they were born. And so it's like you don't know what's happening or if they're going to tell you.
And then there's bad things that can happen in the world, and then when that happens, your kids are with you. Like 9/11 for us, that happened, and all 3 of my children were in the house, and my friends kids were at school and they were freaking out because they couldn't get a hold of the school and they didn't know where their kids were. It was chaotic. And I'm like, oh, thank God I'm home with them.
Part of the reason that school kind of exists the way it does is because people work and like school kind of
right. It's like babysitting.
That's the reason why school starts so early is because parents have to drop their kids and go to work.
So it's just like a daycare for like older kids.
Literally.
Like, they teach them along the way.
I mean, it's better than like, especially when they're older, it's better than them just sitting home or like wandering off and doing things, getting into trouble. Like at least they're at school all day.
And there usually are teachers that you end up connecting with. Like I had a few teachers that loved me, and like actually, of course, they were all women, and they were actually like really good teachers. I had one English teacher from freshman year that every year when I would see her, I would be like, hi, and we would talk. And she made her classroom like relaxing and put up fairy lights and wouldn't turn the lights on and like actually cared.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, she was such a good teacher.
Except
like,
when you get to school and you're really tired that day and the dim light is just like, there were so many times they would like put on a movie and turn off the lights and I was literally like this.
I had her last period
definitely.
though, so.
I have another funny story. When I was in high school, a lot of times I would leave early because we lived so close to school, and I would either like walk home or go somewhere with like friends or something. I don't know. But like I became a pro at just like leaving school early. Like I would just literally walk out of the building and pretend like I knew where I was going.
Did you go to the McDonald's that was next to the school?
She go to Dunkin' Donuts
all the time. One time I went, oh my God, this one teacher, bless her soul, she was the nicest lady. And we took advantage of her. We left and went to McDonald's one time in the middle of class and came back, and she was so mad. She was like, why would you do that? Anyway, this one day I left. Me and Devore decided to leave, and we went with this kid to Chipotle, and we missed our last, I think it was like our last 2 periods or something. And then mom calls me on the way home, and she's like, where are you? Like, did you leave school early or whatever? And I was like, oh my God. Like I told her the truth, obviously. I was like, yeah, we left and went and got food, whatever. Like I'm going to go back now and go talk to the teacher because I don't want to get in trouble. He had called mom or emailed her and basically said like I wasn't there, and then he thinks I was skipping class and whatever. So we get back to school and it's completely empty. It's like 3 p.m. at this point. No one's there, and they start locking the doors in different areas. So like you get trapped in one way, you can't go in this way. We run to this, me and Devore run to the first teacher, and he's in this room, and we hear over the intercom before we get to him. They come on and they're like, Mr. So-and-so, please answer the phone in like this room or whatever. And we're like, fuck, they're definitely calling him about us. Like we need to get there before he answers the phone. So we're running. He walks in this room. We see him going in and we're like, no, Mr. Whatever. Like we have to tell you something. And he slams the door and it's like locked. And we see him in there on the phone just nodding and like looking at us. And he walks out and he was like,
oh my God.
He goes, why would you think that I would lie for you? Because we told Laura's mom that we were with him after school or something, and he was like, obviously we weren't. Anyway, there was also another teacher involved because we had said, so that teacher we first found, we had lied and said we were with him, but the class we had skipped was another teacher's class. So like it all started with that other teacher. So then he called the other teacher and was like, were they with you? He said no. So we're like, oh, we need to go explain this to so-and-so, or he's not, like, we're gonna get in trouble. So then we run to the next teacher's office, and we get there and we walk in, and he's like, it was Mr. He's like looking at us like, oh, hello, like nice to see you here. And we basically told him that was having horrible diarrhea in the bathroom and that I was with her because she didn't feel good. And he literally looks at us and he was like, listen, I don't know why, but I believe you, so I'll let this go. And I was like, all right. Like he was so cool. Like he always like helped me when I needed it and whatever. But yeah, that was like one of the funniest experiences. And had lied to her mom, so she got punished and she couldn't come out for Halloween that night, but I told the truth, so I was still allowed to go out.
Wow. But I bet she lied to her mom because she knew how her mom would react. A kid doesn't lie to their parent if their parent reacts a certain way.
Well,
if she would have told the truth or lied, she still would have gotten in trouble.
I don't remember if I lied right away. I think I just said, I think I told you when you said, where are you? I was like, I'm at school. Like, oh, I'll go talk to him. And then maybe I explained it to you afterwards.
I wouldn't have cared either way. I'd have been like, well, just don't get caught.
I always feel like if your kid's lying to you, it's your fault.
I'd be like, do you need me to write a note for it? You mean do you mean to
I thought
call
about
them a
this.
lie?
I thought about this. I started forging mom's signature for school at like age 10.
That's funny because I forged my mom's.
She would tell me to forge it.
I showed her how I did my mom's, and then she would practice doing
And
mine.
I would write my own absent notes and late notes.
Because
I'd
if
be
I was sleeping,
please excuse Kenny for being late. She was not feeling well this morning, and then sign mom's signature.
Yeah, I
literally
still can
told her
sign
to
that
write that.
signature. I can sign it like it's my own. Better than my own, actually.
I can sign it better than you.
I was
Probably
in like
because-
second grade signing that.
they woke up that morning. God, that's terrible. If they woke up that morning and I was still asleep or something, and they didn't want to wake me up, they would just do that.
Yeah, she wasn't the type.
She wouldn't get up when we had to
No.
get up for school. She'd be
like,
still asleep.
So tired.
And
I would
I'd be
get
like,
up and
Mom, please, I need you to sign this. She'd be like,
I would look out the windows. I would look at the blinds to make sure they're okay. The bus picked them up. I'm like, all right, I'm good.
I can't believe you let us just stand out there by
Well,
ourselves.
there were other parents out there standing.
No, there
Barely
weren't.
ever.
Not when I was standing out there. It was me and like one or two other weird kids in our neighborhood.
And I would always
Next
keep
to
an
the
eye. I
trash
would always
cans.
watch.
Yeah, I would be standing. We'd be standing at the edge of a busy ass road by ourselves, like two little elementary school girls with our like big puffy coats on, just standing there. And then some days it'd be raining, and there'd be other mothers out there holding umbrellas for their kids, and me and Kenny are just standing there getting rained on.
Yep. Sometimes it's a miracle that I even made it this far. I literally got hit by a car. Like,
No, you got hit by a car because I don't know why you guys did that. Like, you
Okay.
decided to cross the street.
blaming me for getting hit by a car at age 10.
Oh, you shouldn't have been running across the
Right.
main road.
I was
Exactly.
10.
You shouldn't have left your friend's house to go get ice cream.
Hey, I
didn't
watched
know
it.
any
I
better.
watched a 10-year-old the other day. She might have been 8, who gave a
Smart.
TED talk.
Right.
And I was like, what the?
Okay, we're not all
Better
like
than
that,
any
obviously.
adult I've ever seen. I was like, who are her parents?
She's probably like a savant or something.
She's like a AI. I was
No,
like,
I
she
find
did once.
I find that parents who talk to their kids kind of more like adults, their kids end up being better communicators
Yes.
and also just like more mature for their age, and like
Yep.
also have better like language skills and like things like that as a young child, because they're not talked to like a kid. You talk to them
Yeah.
like you would talk to anyone. I mean, obviously within certain limits, but
Well, I talked to Kennedy about
Kenny.
I talked to Kennedy.
Well, no, I know.
about as an adult,
I
but she
think-
still decided to run across the street.
No, I think that you did, and I think growing up, like
I talked to her about that.
we were very like well-spoken kids, and we could read at the right
And
age,
communicate our feelings.
But like the reason that I feel like there are so many kids now that one can't read, like that's a big thing now in elementary schools,
that's
is like the
terrible.
teachers are saying these kids just simply can't read. You have to have a lot of time and patience to teach a child how to read. Like make sure you're
it makes me
including
so
books.
upset when
All
you
you
see
have to do is get hooked on phonics.
when you see parents that are like so good, they raise their kids so well, you can tell they just love their kid and their kids turning out to be great, and then you see parents who just clearly were not meant to be parents and just had a kid to have a kid, and I look at them and I'm like,
They just had the kid by accident.
like, what kind of
probably.
person are you? If you're gonna have a child, that child should become the most important thing in your life, literally like your main priority. And that's what mom always made me feel like I was a priority, even though you had your disgusting boyfriends.
Well,
but
I
like,
made sure you were good. Mommy still needed to. I still needed to have like some kind of personal life. Like I was like having not much other than.
Well, I think it's
most
just
of the
hard
time was
because
with you guys.
there's a lot of people that aren't like okay in their own head, so then trying to create a human and mold them into being a good human is like, if you're not already like stable within yourself, doing that can be really challenging, and you don't know how to do it. And it's like, no one knows the perfect way to raise a child. It's like everyone's just doing their best.
I think a
feel
really
like
simple way to
Definitely.
look at it is kids learn by mimicking the people that they're around.
Yeah,
and
you
who
can-
are they around the
You
most?
can see that, like in certain kids, they'll like literally do things that you're like, okay, some adult in your life is definitely acts like that, because that is like
because they are
adult
so
behavior.
impressionable. That's the thing. Kids are like, think about how the tiny little things from our childhood, I still think about, still shaped us. Like childhood is so important. It decides everything.
Well, you know what? How like little girls or boys too, I guess, like playing house so much. The reason is because they're just mimicking
Yeah.
their parent.
Yeah.
That's all
I mean,
they're
when
doing.
me and Kenny were younger, we would literally play school all the time and pretend to be teachers. There
We
was
would print out things, like do worksheets.
So I had this I remember this one time, oh my god, I tried creating an overhead projector with like a lamp and a mirror and like a glass thing, and like I
That's
don't
pretty
know
smart.
what I thought I was gonna, it did not work, so
Yeah,
it
but that's
wasn't
pretty
smart.
smart to even try to
I don't
do
know
that.
what the I thought I was doing, but I thought it was going to work if I could like project something onto the wall. It didn't work, but I was so obsessed with like, I would steal things out of my teacher's trash cans, like their projector sheets and stuff, so I could take them home and play with them.
I would just stare at my teachers and like watch their every move. I had one teacher in kindergarten that would always have white shit in the corner of her mouth, and she would always be like that. And I remember as a kid, I'd be like,
just
ew.
thirsty.
No, Kendi would literally imitate how her one teacher would eat. Like she'd walk around the kitchen eating the way that the teacher would eat.
I've just always been an observer. I've always just like loved watching people.
Did you ever have a crush on any of your teachers?
Oh yeah, he's in my prom vlog.
Oh really?
I didn't have a
Or
crush
no,
on
he's in my
him.
graduation vlog for like a split second. But yeah, there was this one teacher at my school that every girl had like a little crush on him just because he was like cute and he was kind of flirty and he had a big butt.
The only person I ever had a crush on is
He was never inappropriate at all.
my physical therapist.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
When you were a kid?
No, I was an adult. I was in a relationship at the time,
And so was he. He was married.
but I had a crush on him, and I would have like little fantasies about him.
That's the most fun part of having a crush, an inappropriate crush, is the fantasies.
He would have to I mean, he was like cool. Like he was like this cool younger like
Yeah, and his
tall
hands
guy.
were healing you.
And he would like have to massage my back every time I'd come in.
That's
And-
weird.
No, it wasn't weird. It wasn't weird at all. It was like in an open setting. There was like other
Weird
patients.
if you have think you should have changed doctors.
She didn't do anything.
He
She
wasn't
didn't
a
say
doctor.
anything.
He was
Yeah,
my
but
physical
That's the thing.
therapist.
her
It's
mind,
okay.
though,
It's
like-
okay to have
No.
a crush on someone as long as you're not acting on it like that.
I wasn't being a weirdo. I just thought he was cute and
I
like he
remember
had
you
a good
telling me-
personality.
I remember telling you about that, and I was like, you should break up with.
So and so,
Yeah.
yeah. But it was just like a fun thing. Like I was in nursing school. I had nothing exciting in my life going on. My relationship sucked, and I would go in and see my physical therapist, and he was cool.
Yeah, so I just have to say to
It reminds
anybody.
you of like a marriage where the woman ends up like cheating with like the psychiatrist or something that
Shit,
she's
I
going
can see
to.
how if you're
Listen,
miserable, you
To anybody out there who's in a relationship who maybe is having second thoughts, if you start having fantasies about somebody who is not your significant other,
Yeah.
or even crushes at all, any of those thoughts,
that's your sign, baby.
yeah, that's your sign, and maybe you shouldn't be in that relationship.
Seriously, because I avoided that thought in my brain for so long. I'd push it so deep down because I was like, no, like whatever, this is normal. It's just because I'm this and that and whatever else. And I started noticing myself becoming like this miserable person that hated listening to music and hated going to things and hated all these things. And I would go to the gym and just stare at all these guys there and like wonder about them and want to like be able to talk to them and whatever. And I was like, all right, something's not right here. And then once it ended, I like got to have my fun for a while, and I realized it wasn't just me. It was the relationship and the person I was with.
And then she found her perfect match.
Yeah. And I can say like, I've been with Jesse for over 3 years now, and like never can I even imagine looking at someone else and feeling any sort of like desire to even speak to them.
And let me just say, I've been living with them for the last few weeks, and I feel like the more time I spend with you guys, the more I'm just like, yeah, this is what love should be. This is like, you guys are like the ultimate relationship in my head. It's like, it's very equal and healthy, and you communicate and genuinely love each other. And you and Kate too. Like,
Yeah, that's
it just
amazing.
makes me really, really, really,
It
really
is.
happy.
It's amazing that
It's such a good feeling
everything
to
that we've
see
been
your
through
family.
with,
Like,
my whole thing, my whole side is like, wow, my children are picking right.
Thank God.
yeah, we're all
Yeah.
just waiting for me.
There's a lot of my friends, like there's a lot of people, their kids don't pick right. Nope. And they have a problem. They have to worry
I feel like
constantly.
it really is hard because you have to know in your head what it is that you are willing to only like settle for. And I always knew growing up, like I would even tell myself in the relationship I used to be in that I knew there was better for me out there, and someone who checked all the boxes and fit perfectly into my life and my lifestyle and liked working out like I did and had the same values as I did. And I was right. Like, you can't settle for someone thinking like, oh, I'm never going to find any better, because you'll find someone who's a better match for you.
And I used to think that too in your last relationship, because I viewed him as like a older brother at one point. I got very close with him, and I was like, I can never imagine them breaking up. I can never imagine like him not being in our lives, he's part of our family now. And then as I got older, I started to realize like, oh, I don't actually like, there's a lot of things about him I don't actually like. And now with Jesse, it's like, I genuinely love him as a person.
Yeah.
And we get along as people, not just because he's my sister's fiance, but because
he's genuine.
Yeah,
really
he's
good
just
person.
a good person that was raised right.
Yeah, you have to end up with someone who is your best friend, like who you want to spend your time with, you want to do all the fun activities with, that will do those things with you.
Yes.
Because if they won't, and you have to go find another friend to do things with. Like Jesse would literally do anything. Like even if it was, I want to go to the mall and go shopping for a dress or something, like he would come with me and he would be attentive and help me find something. Like that's
because he loves you.
Yeah, that, but also you just genuinely have to find someone who's like, just spending time with them is all that matters, no matter what it is that you're doing, and that you want to. Like I literally could spend every day with him, never get annoyed with him. I mean, little things, but like not enough to be like, oh, I need my space from you. Like we are together almost every day except when he's traveling, and I've never once felt that.
Yeah.
So
truly. And I just feel like too, a lot of it comes down to loving yourself and knowing that you deserve that type of love and nothing less. Like if you are in a relationship where you're not getting the love you deserve, think about it as you're telling yourself, oh, this is what I deserve. I don't deserve better than this.
You didn't learn that from me. Where you learn that from? You did not learn that from me.
well, I kind of did learn it. I did learn it from you, but I learned the opposite from you. Like
There you go. So.
I saw you put up with people, and I told myself I would never allow that. But also, like, I mean, given I did definitely kind of like not officially date people, but I had people in my life come and go that definitely were not great to me. They didn't stay around for long, luckily. Like I never got into any sort of like deep toxic relationship with anyone, but I definitely had people, you know, I had my own experiences, and I was like, I never want that. I don't want someone like that in my life. They're not someone I ever see myself marrying. Like I don't want someone that treats me like shit or makes me feel bad about myself. Or I kind of learned it early on, and then I don't know, like
it's just so interesting.
Well, I think there's another
wasn't
really
like
like
that.
simple heuristic for this. It's like the way that I look at it sometimes is like, is the best version of you bringing out the best version of that person, and is the best version of that person bringing out the best version of you, which is like a mutually beneficial relationship instead of like one person sucking the life out of somebody else, or vice versa.
Mutually beneficial is such an important term for relationships.
Well, you can look at that as like, apply that to some of the relationships you had. Do you think that the best version of you was helping bring out the best version of the other person, and vice versa?
Yeah, with Dad and I in the beginning, and then it just like
but think about like
no,
he was sucking the f***ing life out of you.
Yeah, that was obvious,
And it was
But
definitely not bringing out the best
everything
version
went
of him.
downhill after that. But then I brought myself back up again. But it's I don't know. I just
It's
think
like you're
that-
gonna attract what you think that you're worth in that moment.
Right.
You have to have like a high
Exactly.
self-worth and
Exactly.
like know the things that you love and
Yeah.
do the things that you love.
And that's why they say you can't love someone until you love yourself. And a lot of people are like, well, that's not true because I love this person and I don't love myself. And it's like, that might be true, but the most important love in your life should be yourself. It should not be someone else, unless you're like a mother. Do you agree with that? Like, I think if you're a mother,
at
your
the same
kid should
time
be.
though, I feel like you don't want to have unrealistic expectations from the person that you're with, that you're expecting something that
They shouldn't be unrealistic though.
almost like fictional.
But the thing is, there should be someone who can fulfill all of your
well,
expectations.
yeah, if they're unrealistic for that person,
It's
though,
not
then
the right
that's not
person.
the
I'm
right
saying,
person.
okay, here's an example. Like, what if there's a girl and she's just confused because she's had bad relationships and she's been reading a lot of like Christian Grey books or whatever. What are they called?
50 Shades.
Erotica?
50 Shades of Grey or something. And she's like, I want that. Like, I want that, like, push and pull. I want like the drama associated with that.
Then she's going to get into a toxic relationship.
But that's what I'm saying. What she wants is a fictional concept versus maybe she doesn't understand who she actually is, so she doesn't actually know what she wants.
As someone who used to want things like that, I think that's like a young mentality to have, and that for so many years I was like, oh, I want this romance from fiction books that isn't real romance. It's perfectly constructed romance that leaves out a lot of moments that are a part of a real relationship. And as I've gotten older, I've wanted that less because I see how unrealistic it is. And I'm more so of like, I just want somebody I can exist with, who I feel like doesn't get on my nerves and sees me for who I am, and I don't feel like I have to explain myself to them. I don't feel like I have to like I look at Claudia and Jesse, and it's just like they just get each other. Like, she wants something, he does it. He wants something, she does it. Like, they're just there for each other. There's no question about it. It's just like, it's just the trust and the love is there, and you can see it and you can feel it, and there's just no doubt about it. Like, and at my current age, being at how old I am and knowing what I know and having all my skepticism about life and people and relationships, it's like they literally give me hope. I told Jesse the other day, I was like, you give me hope that like there are good men in this world that actually respect women, and like,
And Brandon.
he just respects her. That's the thing. He
Brandon,
respects
you're
you.
like that too.
Yeah. I always
What do
say
you
Brandon
mean?
and Jesse are
As someone who used to love the 50 Shades of Grey books,
same.
I always wanted something like that in real life to like experience it. Not necessarily getting like spanked to the paddle, but like some
It's more of it's not necessarily what they're doing physically, more of the emotional side.
A rich
of it,
guy
yeah.
choosing you.
a super rich guy that has everything, like wanting just you out of everyone. And then I somewhat experienced like something similar to that with someone, and it is so not as nice in real life.
There you go. That's another
Well,
thing.
spin it for a second. Now put yourself in the guy's shoes. Like, why does he want that?
Well, he's damaged. It has
And
issues.
it's power.
Yeah, so it's like two kind of damaged
also-
people coming together and creating more damage. It's reverse. It's opposite of what I was saying about the mutually beneficial.
But a
thing.
big thing-
It's mutually destructive.
A big thing with the fictional stuff is like a lot of it is just written by women. Like, it's just women creating these perfect relationships with these perfect guys that do exactly what we want and are the perfect amount of toxic. But in real life, when a guy acts like that, he actually has real issues that are not
Yeah, I
fun.
know.
It's like,
that are not
geez,
romantic.
I want to get the away from
Exactly.
you.
So it's just like you realize as you get older and experience more and around people more, like it's not like it is in the books. And once having like an epiphany that all of the romance books that I'm obsessed about are written by women, like it's literally just women creating our perfect scenario, and you can't do that in real life. So you wait until you find the person that feels perfect for you.
Well, it's a scenario that would be fun for like a week or like a
Exactly.
month, and then it's
Exactly.
like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
But then you're done, and you feel like the life was drained out
Exactly.
of you because what
Yep.
you wanted, you got it. And now it's like when you get something you really want, like you want this fancy car, you get it, and then you stop caring just as much because the excitement is what was actually the exciting part.
Exactly.
Yeah, you'll realize when the excitement's gone, you're like, damn, this person is kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm gonna blame Disney.
What?
Why?
Because it was all these fairy tale like relationships, and you, like I literally thought, oh, that's what it's supposed to be like.
Yeah.
So then I was looking for that like for a very long time.
But you weren't finding it, not even close
no,
to
but
it.
I really thought it existed.
That's the thing, until your mind gets broken and you realize this doesn't exist.
Yeah, I kept looking
in this
and looking.
way. It does exist. You can be loved that way. You can be loved in a way that feels magical, but it exists in a realistic way.
Well, I think a lot of those stories make it seem like you're like a fucking puzzle piece, and you need the other piece of the puzzle to
Exactly.
like for
Yeah.
everything to magically
Yeah.
come together. And it's like, what if you're already fine, and then
Right.
that person just helps? It's more like I said,
Exactly.
It's simple. It's like the mutually beneficial thing versus you're trying to like find this missing
Yeah.
piece.
That's the most important thing, is your relationship. And this goes for friendships too. Is it mutually beneficial? If you stopped being friends, would it both be a loss? If you broke up, would it both be a loss? Or would you feel free? Or would they feel free? Like, it should just be equal. You should love each other the same amount. You should feel like if one person can't live without you, you should feel like you can't live without them. Like, it should just always be equal in every way. Like,
I have one
We're
more
not
quick-
doing any
I have one more
questions?
quick question.
No.
I have one more thing. This is quick. Why does the Halloween stuff come out earlier and earlier
I'll
every
let
year?
Claudia answer that.
the same reason
First of
Christmas
all-
It's
does.
insanely early.
It's capitalism. Duh.
We're like 3 months out.
First of all,
Or when
Well,
it started
not
coming out.
really.
no, we're not.
No.
It's-
When the Halloween stuff started coming out, it was like 3 months out.
Yes, but you have to understand that it comes very quickly, and some people like to decorate and get to experience it for longer than 1 month.
Look at Claudia's mug and hat.
I know, because I was looking at Claudia and I'm like, I keep seeing Halloween stuff, but it's 2 months
Because
away.
people
from
love
now.
Halloween.
It's cool.
People
What
love
did your
Halloween.
hat say? Pumpkin King?
Yes.
Well, as soon as Halloween's over, then it's
very
Christmas.
cute.
Christmas stuff
yeah,
starts
it just
coming out.
happens
Never
so
knew that,
fast.
really.
But also,
It's a mixture of
it's about to be
capitalism
September
and excitement.
1st. September 1st is literally here tomorrow.
Look, be happy this stuff is here, because sometimes it gets stuck out on the waters.
Okay, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace. Leave messages in the phone number in the description.